Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead or Leaving Egypt, depending on which video platform you prefer to watch your content on. My name is Justin, and in today's video, I want to tell you how I believe the UN is going to come and take your firearms, and they're going to use the WHO, the World Health Organization, as a tool to do so under the pandemic accord that they are currently working on with all of the nation states. Also, I want to discuss why I'm wearing this hat that you might think looks ridiculous. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to stick around for the rest of the video.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I am found, was blind, but now I see.
Alright, so first thing, why the hat? No, I'm not trying to turn Amish or present myself as an Amish individual or Mennonite individual. Quite simply, I've got this red beard and fair skin, and my wife was going to one of the local Mennonite or Amish stores to get some stuff for our house, and I begged her and asked her to pick me up a hat to keep my ears and the back of my neck shaded working out in the sun and the heat. And it works rather well. I believe it works better than a cowboy hat because cowboy hat's folded on the sides and you don't get the shade like you do with this hat, so I'm very thankful for it. Now, let's jump into the real reason why you're watching this video. Yes, I absolutely believe the UN is going to use their pandemic accord that they're implementing through the World Health Organization to try to take your firearms. Let me tell you what I mean. On June 26th of 2024, the AP reported this. The U.S. Surgeon General on Tuesday declared gun violence a public health crisis, driven by the fast-growing number of injuries and deaths involving firearms in the country. So, if you're not familiar with the One Health approach that the UN is using to develop their pandemic accord, the One Health approach is an approach or a system that says we are going to look at everything and how it affects health. So they look at things like animals, right? If you don't know, recently it just got signed into law that we cannot go and buy certain things that used to be customary to take care of animals, such as antibiotics, right? Now you have to go through a vet to get those antibiotics. You used to be able to just go to the feed store. A lot of cost savings. If you've spent any time raising animals, very much time, you begin to learn what they need and when they need it, so you just go get it. Now they want you to go through a vet all of the time. Some of you maybe used to keep fish mocks at your house. It is amoxicillin. It's an amoxicillin pill that goes into your fish tank to get rid of the bacteria. It just so happens to be the same amoxicillin that you get at your pharmacy when your doctor prescribes it for you for something like an ear infection. However, it is not stored for human consumption. It is stored for aquatic uses. So, people were taking chances and using that to get rid of their different ailments and illnesses, and they got rid of that. You can't do that anymore. You can't go buy that at your local feed store for your aquarium. That's not possible. And what they're saying is, underneath things like this One Health approach, we have to look at everything. Meaning, we believe animals, this is the UN stance, right? We believe that animals are developing antibiotic resistance because farmers are too stupid to know when to give their animals antibiotics. And so we must regulate that through the vets, because the vets will know best, right? And I'm not denying that at all. However, I don't think farmers, most of them, are using an abundance of antibiotics on their animals because a lot of us don't want that in our critters that we're raising. They're saying in order to preserve health for future generations, we have to take away the ability for farmers to use antibiotics, right? We're under the One Health approach. If something raises climate, such as wood stoves and propane stoves, right? If something is considered to raise the temperature of the world, well, then they will say, hey, this is bad for the climate, it's bad for human health, you've signed the pandemic accord, therefore you must follow what is in the guidelines of the pandemic accord. This one now being gun violence, right? And we have all seen by now the assassination attempt on former President Trump, right? And we've seen, he turned his head in just the right amount of time or just the right millisecond. Bullet hit his ear, went through his ear, whatever happened there. And now they're telling you, hey, this guy used an AR-style weapon. He used an AR-style weapon. Hey, this guy used an AR style weapon. It's on every news report, right? Why are they telling you that? Because does it really matter what shape the gun is in? No, it doesn't matter at all, right? What matters is it shoots a projectile out, and that projectile went through a former president's ear, right? And also killed somebody, which is a terrible thing, right? And injured others. It's a horrible thing that happened. I don't care where you stand on the political aisle in that particular case. It's horrible across all political aisles, right? But that's part of the conversation with them is, hey, he used an AR-style weapon. We need to ban these. This is gun violence, gun violence, gun violence. In fact, a recent address to the nation that President Biden made, he addressed gun violence and how guns have killed more children every year than anything else. And then he talked about how women should be able to get abortions. Well, if you look it up, abortions have killed way more children than firearms. And, you know, there might be a reason why. If you take your children for a wellness check to the doctor, they're going to ask you, do you have firearms in your house? There might be a reason why they're asking those questions. And so when we consider what the UN is actually doing, and see, it sounds crazy, right? Doesn't it sound nuts to go, why would the UN not want us to have firearms? However, they do have statues, right, on the UN complexes, on their grounds of guns tied in knots, right? And this is for the peace and tranquility of the world, that people not have these firearms, right? And so why would they want to take your firearms? Why? Well, if you believe in the Bible, as I do, you understand that one of these days the entire planet is going to fall under a one world satanic governmental system known as the Antichrist system, or the beast system, and everybody will have to take the mark of the beast in order to buy and sell. In order to live a regular life, you will have to bow the knee and you will have to accept the mark of the beast. The only way that you can do that is to make sure that the people are not free, to make sure that they are in bondage. And see, even here in the United States, you may still have the ability to vote. You may still have the ability to maybe go do whatever it is you need to do as far as going to the grocery store and whatever, as long as you have this mark. It's not up to governments to tell us the truth. They often don't. They often tell us one thing when they actually mean another. I'll give you an example. Women's health productive rights. That's one of the things that the Democrat Party will push very hard. We believe in women's rights to reproduce, right? No, that's not what actually they believe. They believe in the right for women to kill their baby. That's what it is. And so we need to be able to actually call things for what they are, but also we need to be able to understand that all things are being used right now constantly to push an agenda, and that agenda is this one world governmental system that is sure to come. According to the Word of God, it hasn't been wrong yet. I don't figure it's going to start now. I appreciate you guys watching. We will catch you on the next video. Me and my wife talked today about trying to put more videos out again and trying to put more work into the Built on Faith Homestead channel, along with our Exodus Ministry channel. If you've not seen that, I encourage you to go look at that. We are trying to start a traveling tent ministry because we feel it is the Lord's will in our life to do that. That's what He wants out of us. That's what He wants us to do. So that's what we are trying to do. I encourage you to go check it out over there. We will catch you guys on the next one.